I have recently been introduced to the work of Dr. Iain McGilchrist, a British psychiatrist and writer. Dr. McGilchrist's work is focused primarily on how the two hemispheres of the human brain function in relation to each other and how this relationship affects not just individuals but also societies. Let us begin by understanding the relationship between the two hemispheres of the brain. The human brain has a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere that are joined by the corpus callosum, which is a region consisting of white matter tracts that connect the two hemispheres. Dr. McGilchrist argues that this region plays as much of an inhibitory role, preventing the two hemispheres from meddling in each other's affairs, as facilitating collaboration between these two parts of the brain. However, there is no clear distinction in the areas of life that each of the hemispheres gets involved in. It turns out that both hemispheres get involved in pretty much everything. Dr. McGilchrist argues that the difference between the two hemispheres is not in what each hemisphere does, but how they do it. More a division of style rather than responsibility. I'm going to take a little break here to request you to subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the video so far. Now getting back to the human brain. He says that this can be understood by adopting an evolutionary perspective. Every living being must answer two questions. How do I get food to eat? And how do I protect myself from becoming food for other creatures? The first requires focused attention, which the left hemisphere is good at. The second requires wider, more sustained attention. This is what the right hemisphere does well. So the primary difference between the two hemispheres is in the way they attend to things. The focused, targeted attention of the left hemisphere and the wider, more sustained attention of the right hemisphere. Human beings engage in the world in different ways, depending on whether they are drawing more on the right or the left hemisphere. In fact, this distinction extends beyond individuals to societies. This is where his book, The Master and His Emissary, The Divided Brain, and the Making of the Western World comes in. In it, he claims that Western culture has oscillated between left and right hemispheric approaches to the world. The former emphasizing order, control, rationality, agency, and bureaucracy, and the latter emphasizing experience, change, empathy, freedom, and openness. The metaphor Dr. McGilchrist creates in the title is that the right hemisphere, with its broader, big picture perspective, should be the master, and the left hemisphere should be the emissary executing the right hemisphere's instructions. Dr. McGilchrist goes on to make an even more interesting argument. He says that over the last 200 years, the West has understood and even remade the world in the mechanistic image favored by the left hemisphere. This happened primarily because empire building requires the formulation and execution of instructions, which is the left hemisphere's domain. And since then, there has been a decided tilt towards left hemisphere approaches. I'll stop there for now, because next time I'll be back with an even more interesting video on how societies and cultures can be understood as oriented towards the right hemisphere of the brain or the left hemisphere of the brain. Till then, keep watching, keep sharing, and once again, please subscribe to the Aggressively Serious YouTube channel. See you very soon.